Jaron Ennis sends Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford a message after his sensational knockout. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red. Sports, let's talk about it. Alright, y'all, so Jaron Boots Ennis, man. I watched the fight last night.
You're my brother, you're my brother, you're my brother Terence. You're the only one for me.
Incredible fight. I'm glad because I was messing around doing some other stuff, lost track of time, and I just happened to look up at my phone because I was checking a message I got from a subscriber on YouTube. And I just happened to look over and like, man, it's 10:30. Ain't Jaron Ennis fighting tonight? And man, I had to hurry up and maneuver and so I could go watch the fight, and ended up catching it in the second round. You know, it had already started, but they were in the second round, and I'm glad I caught it from the second round because the rest of the fight was nothing less than sensational. Listen, man, you know, Captain Full G is the one who put me up on Boots Ennis. You know, I had seen Boots before, but I had never really went and watched his footage and took time out to watch one of his fights. So Captain Full G, one of my subscribers, was like, man, you got to check out Boots. You got to check out Boots. He's the next up. And I went and checked Boots out, and the training videos that I watched, I'm like, man, this guy looks sensational. He looks like a hybrid of Errol Spence and Terence Crawford with a little Manny Pacquiao sprinkled in there with those angles that he be throwing.
Oh, the left, the right,
and it was crazy because the first Boots fight I got to watch live was the Karen fight. And, you know, I saw everything I wanted to see from Boots. I felt like he dominated that fight, but it wasn't the performance that I wanted to see from Boots. But this Roiman Villa fight, man, was so spectacular. I saw everything I wanted to see out of Boots. I saw the switch hitting. I saw the power. I saw the Manny Pacquiao angles.
I think you're all fucked in the head.
This man did a move, I think it was like in the 8th round, where he did like this Terminator thing. And he, when he threw the punch, he did like his little Terminator walk. He threw a punch and he spun around Roiman Villa and was like pretty much behind him right after he threw the punch. And I'm like, man, that looks like a big Manny Pacquiao in there. It was so funny when he did it, and I'm so glad I got to see that live, because that right there is the epitome of entertaining boxing. Now, I'm not saying all boxers need to be like that to be entertaining, but there's a element of showmanship that Boots has to go along with the way he boxes, and it's very watchable, and it's something that a lot of fighters are missing. The watchability. And I did a video yesterday, go check that out, about why, you know, pay-per-view sales are down. And some of it's got to do with the piracy, some of it's got to do with fans, some of it's got to do with, you know, the big wigs and them charging too much, and then some of it has to do with the fighters not having that wow factor.
Right here.
Oh!
You know, a lot of these guys just don't have that wow factor. They're just really good boxers, but there's no showmanship to go along with it. And Boots had showmanship in droves, man. It was almost like watching a throwback fighter. I thought I was watching Roy Jones for a second. I thought I was watching Felix Trinidad for a second. I thought I was watching the great Pernell Whitaker for a second. I thought, all these names, came up. Manny Pacquiao, I thought I was watching Diego Corrales for a second, man. It was just so spectacular. He's like a mixture of all of these guys. You see it in him. And you can tell that he studied boxing to the highest degree. You can tell that Boots is a student of the sport.
So you always have to be able to visualize it, and it's important to keep people away or not to listen to people that try to fuck that visual up. Negativity can kill a dream. It does kill a dream because you can do anything. But if you're dreaming and someone tells you the worst part about that dream or why you probably can't do it, it might make you stop dreaming.
Not only the way he carries himself, but the way he performs in a boxing ring. It is masterful. And, I put out a poll yesterday, does Boots beat Errol Spence and Terence Crawford? And I feel like that version of Boots would destroy Errol Spence or Terence Crawford. And I think he would destroy Errol Spence because of Errol Spence's slow foot movement. I'm not sure if he would be able to deal with those angles and the way Boots is able to spin his opponent the same way that Vergil was able to do Devin. I think Boots would be able to do the same thing to Errol Spence. And you got to understand that Boots has hand speed to go with that. So it's not just like he can spin you with his feet and quick movement and not be able to throw power punches behind it. No, he can spin you and then throw a 4-punch power combination after it. So, it would be, scary, I think, for Errol Spence fans if Boots gets this guy in the ring.
It's right there in the Bible. Thou shalt not kill.
Errol Spence's best bet is to stay far away from Boots Ennis. And Terence Crawford, I think that Boots' power would be the main factor if he fought Terence Crawford. I don't think he would need to use that spinning technique or try to out-combo Crawford. I think you would see Boots sit down on his punches and do something similar to what I think Errol Spence is about to do to Crawford, which is break him down physically. A lot of body shots we saw last night, and we've never seen Terence Crawford take those type of shots before. So I think Boots would physically break Crawford down, and around 11th round, I think he might score a knockout.
Do you care whether you live or die?
Now, he sent Terence Crawford and Errol Spence basically a message. And his message basically was, listen, I'll be around if you guys want to make that fight happen. I'm not going anywhere.
I knew he was going to be here.
And you knew I was going to pull up?
That's why I came.
Did you know I was going to pull up?
Oh, God, I knew he was going to be here.
And you got a FaceTime for me and you didn't answer.
I don't know your number.
Save it.
If you guys are going to stick around, and we know that there's a rematch clause, so whoever does lose, I'm hoping they don't exercise. If it's Earl, I'm hoping he does exercise because I think he deserves a rematch if he loses. If it's Crawford, I kind of hope he don't exercise the rematch because I want to see Boots fight Earl. If he beats Terence Crawford, I don't really want to see him beat up on Terence Crawford again. I want to see him go try to fight Boots, man. That's what everybody wants to see. If you was willing to fight Keith Thurman, you gotta be willing to get in there with Boots, EJ, man. Show the world that you are the truth, man. I think Terence Crawford's a great challenger, and he's upper echelon, but Boots is the real deal. I'm talking about throwback boxing. I compare this guy to Ali. I compare this guy to Roy Jones. I'm comparing this guy to Felix Trinidad, Diego Corrales. So I know that this guy is the real deal. What I saw him do last night was nothing less than boxing perfection.
So I get really offended when I'm dreaming and I'm visualizing and somebody tries to mess up that perfect visual with a concern. Concerns are what ruin the world.
Now, will Terence Crawford and Errol Spence take the challenge? I don't know, man. I think what we're going to see is whoever loses is most likely going to exercise their rematch and, you know, try to do it again and perhaps, you know, make a comeback for the titles and get the titles back in the rematch. And then whoever wins the second one is going to be out of here. Them guys ain't sticking around for Boots.
Oh, yeah, that's dope. I mean, that's a prestigious belt.
This is what I'm going to tell Boots. Boots, just wait it out, man. Don't chase these guys because you got a golden opportunity sitting in your lap to be the next undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Whether these guys are there or whether those guys leave the division, you're most likely going to be the next IBF champ anyway. So have patience. You know, you're young, you're strong, you got all the skills in the world, and you put them on display last night. I am a believer in Boots, man. Listen, I don't bet on boxing, but I might bet on the next Boots fight just because I know it's a show thing. Unless it's EJ he getting in there with or Manny Pacquiao, it's a sure thing.
You must have got manure for your brains. All of it, boy.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button for me. Sure. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. It's Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, the Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tubes or holler at me over there. If you want to collabo, feature your channel or a product on my channel, then hit my Gmail because it is a flock of cards at Gmail. And we
Hey yo, brand new money. What you know about it? Niggas wanna claim they bout it, I doubt it. Got your house surrounded, you don't wanna come about it. It's lonely at the top, but at the bottom it's crowded. A nigga ain't eating a week, yet and still got a pocket full of bread, then you're probably a beast. If you're eating every day of the week, but you ain't got $1 to your name, then you're probably a leech. Preach, thank the Most Highs for making me most flies. Okay, wash on the fat boy died. I know you got something on your mind, don't try it. I got something in the rats in your head, bone flying for sure. Let me see you go, let me see you go, get it. Let me see you go, let me see you go, get it. You know I stack it, don't spin it, own it, don't rent it. Wait a damn minute, I'ma show them how to get it. Come on, let me see you go, let me see you go, get it. Let me see you go, let me see you go, get it. Let me see you go, let me see you go, get it. Let me see you go, let me see you go. Hey yo, you can hear the cop sirens and the shots firing. Niggas looking for jobs, but they not hiring. You gotta take it all in your own hands. What you on, bruh? I got my own plans. Get my own land, please move along, man. If you can't respect the fact that I'm a grown man, and I ain't playing going hard in the paint for my niggas that wanna go hard, but they can't. So I guess I'm going triple hard. I get your girlfriend's nipples hard. Never leave home without my pimpin' card. So please put my name on the wall. That's the greatest of all. Put my name on the brawl. If I lay in the wrong, what I'm saying to y'all, Louis Keys ain't playing with y'all. Middle finger, what I'm waving to y'all. Give a damn if you say hi. Super low, yet I stay high. Louis Keys. Let me see you go. Let me see you go.